Hi, thank you for tuning in to Cooking with JJ. Today I have the magical Morgan McEvilly, who has joined us to help us create some magical Morgan bars. These are delicious and nutritious healthy energy bars that I am really excited about because I haven't had them in quite some time.
Yes.
So Morgan, welcome.
Thank you. Wonderful and beautiful just the way you are. But I will say that these are very calorically dense because they include dates and nuts. And so they have a lot of impact on the body, but you don't need that much to have it last a long time. So I've used these over a marathon training as a way to increase my glucose when I'm on really long runs. Also, if you have a long day and you need some sort of glucose to keep your brain going, these can be a great little nugget that you can have throughout your day just to boost your energy as you move through.
Beautiful. See, they're tasty, but they carry a punch. And so you want to make sure, if you're trying to lose weight, these aren't the best things to eat in big quantities. But if you are backpacking, if you're running, if you, as Morgan said, if you need just like a little boost of energy, these are great for that, and they are very healthy.
I do know that my JJ loves peanut butter.
I do love peanut butter.
And you made a peanut butter thing here last time. So we were going to do a peanut butter and jelly one, but I said let's switch it and talk about some brain health, and we'll make one with walnuts in it because walnuts are great for your brain health. So we'll take 1 cup of walnuts. Actually, I even like to do a little bit since I'm going to combo walnuts and cashews for this one because we're going to make a blueberry dream. I like to call this one.
Blueberry dream.
And you also need, I have my trusty vitamix that has been with me for many years now. You can also do this in a food processor, anything that will just be able to handle chopping up some nuts and dates.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to put about 1/2 cup of cashews in here and then 1/2 cup of walnuts to just make sure it's nice and filled. And since I've made these for so many years now, I kind of just eyeball things. And then we're now going to add in some dried fruit. So I'm going to add in about 1/2 cup of blueberries because I like to mix things up a little bit.
Oh, I've never seen dried blueberries.
Dried blueberries.
Oh my gosh.
They're so tiny and
I
cute.
eat blueberries every day with my Greek yogurt for breakfast, and about 2 out of 3 days I drop 1 or 2 on the floor. So if you ever need to harvest dried blueberries, just come. They're all hanging out on my floor.
Yes. And then I'm going to fill the rest of the cup up with these dried Bing cherries because I love them. I also, just like I recommended with the dates, I would recommend trying to check all your dried fruit to make sure that there's not added sugar or oils. Oftentimes they'll add those, they sneak them in. It's kind of a preservative, but it's also, you can find a ton of options without it, and that is the most ideal situation to be in.
Beautiful. Less is more.
And then what makes this a blueberry magic one is I'm going to also add in about 1/2 cup of banana chips. You can always add in a few more if you like, but about 1/2 cup of dried banana chips. All right, here we go. I'm going to put them on here. Put it on a low setting for here, and have my big spoon so I can reach down and just toss it up a little bit.
Yeah, look at that.
Once you get it to a consistency that you like, you can, if you like a little bit of a chunkier bar or you like everything smooth, you can base that on how much you blend it. I kind of like my bars a little bit of chunky with some crunch in it. So I have these blended to my consistency, and now I'm going to start to pop in my medjool dates.
I've always wanted to know how to say that word right.
I don't actually know if I'm saying it right.
I call them medjool dates. I don't know if that's right or not.
That's so cute,
You're probably right. We'll get a fact check on it.
We'll get a fact check on that.
But
Okay.
these guys.
Beautiful.
I always kind of thought, this is terrible, but they kind of look like bugs.
Oh, they're
But
delicious bugs.
They are delicious. They don't taste like bugs. That's why I don't know. I haven't eaten bugs. But
Yeah, well, you might have, but the exoprotein is,
this is true.
yes, it's based on crickets.
But they do look like little bugs, but they are delicious. There's lots of things you
Delicious
can do with
little
these, so I love that you're cooking with these.
Yes, so many things. But once again, very calorically dense. They're a great way to add sweetness to any sort of dish, but just keep in mind. Okay.
Beautiful.
So now I'm going to start adding them in. I like to add it one at a time, just slowly, so I can kind of mix it and blend it as I'm doing it. Now you can. So we have them all blended up, and whether you're using a food processor or a vitamix, I was kind of turning it a little bit, but I recommend don't putting anything in the blender. Me and my vitamix have just been together for a really long time, so we know each other really well. But I would say just stop the blender and turn it, because it can get very sticky and kind of clumped at the bottom. So if you do need to do that so it doesn't clog the blades, just pause the blender and take it out. But food processor should be able to. So here's my handy trick. As I like to reduce, reuse, recycle, oftentimes I'll reuse the bag that the nuts came in to do this. But I have a nice little Ziploc bag. You can also use a pan and line it with parchment paper. You can even make tiny little nugget bowls, and you can like pre-hand roll them if the kids are getting involved and they want to be a part of it. You can have the kids roll it into whatever shape they want as a fun little activity. Great. So then it's all in here. Sometimes too, I'll take my hands and mush it up to make sure that it's all blended together.
It looks like it would be fun to mush.
Yes. I was like, do you want to mush?
No, you're good. Okay. It's just like my hands want to do that.
Yes, it's very good texture. So I like to use the bag, because then I can just kind of smush it out, any last little bits that I want.
Oh, look how shiny it gets.
I know.
The juice from the fruit.
That's the juice from the fruit, and also some of the oils from the nuts.
Oh, that looks great.
Speaking of oils, because walnuts have high DHA, which is a good omega-3, and it's so thus really good for the old noggin, your brain. So
that's funny. I love that, because we were talking a little bit about, like, these are energy bars. They're not caffeinated. But like if you're like one of those people who tends to like lag in the afternoons and you're always grabbing like a soda or going for a coffee, this would be, it's not caffeinated, so it's not that kind of boost, but a really nice thing to maybe try or keep on hand to have a little bit like in the afternoon to give you like a natural boost, almost like juice or, you know, and it's better for you than coffee.
Absolutely. I mean, and our brain takes about 20% of our energy throughout the day. So, because it weighs about 2% of our body weight, and the average brain's like 3 pounds. So, you want to keep it fueled with glucose, because that's one of the primary fuel sources for the brain, oxygen and glucose. Beautiful. And so, if you are learning a new task or you're going through something really difficult, whether it be at work or at home, and you just feel that drain, these are when a little bit of boost of glucose to help the brain function can be really helpful throughout your day. But
well, that's what I love about like the different, like having the different ingredient options. I mean, we talked a little bit about like walnuts just now and how walnuts are brain food because of the omegas that are in there. So you can really mix and match your ingredients, not only how like your taste, like I love peanut butter and jelly, but like, oh, like I have a really hard time because I get up so early. My brain gets really tired in the afternoon. I need brain food in the afternoon. Not just the glucose, but like anything that I can get my brain to like function, because by like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, it's hard for me to write an email. So I like that, like, oh, okay, well, my mouth tastes gravitate towards peanuts, which have great things too, but I'm like, oh, maybe I should eat more walnuts in my diet to make my brain function a little bit better. So I really, really like that idea of like using food not only to like taste your palate and to like manage your like your energy level, but like all the other benefits of the ingredients that you can pick. Like, I don't know, I love that idea about food. Food is amazing.
It is.
So show me what you did here, because you were just like talking and it's magically turned into like this beautiful energy bar.
So because I use the bag, that's where I found over the years my like little sneaky trick is you can kind of
it just happens.
Tap it. You can then make it look, you can then give it some nice edges. You can also once again do this in a pan or do it in a bar, but then here we go. Here's our bar. Technically it's done.
So you don't have to cook this? No. Do you need, but should we refrigerate it when we're not eating it?
So it can last, recommend up to a month in an airtight container, like a bag or a Tupperware, for up to a month. And I would recommend putting it in the refrigerator because it does help to kind of bind it and pull it all together over time. And also it is really just nice when it's kind of chilled.
It is chill. Okay, we like things chill. Well, let's try.
Yes.
Thank you.
Here you go, my delicious JJ.
I'm going to eat it. That's amazing. That's very good.
Yes. And so
it's crunchy. I love that.
I love a crunchy one. Mm-hmm. That is very true. But with those jelly beans, so they want to get, when you're doing an endurance thing, you want to get that glucose as fast as you can because you might be already depleted. And so they have them where the jelly beans or the goos, where it goes straight into your bloodstream, where these, because there's some fiber and nuts and things, it takes a little bit longer to digest.
Got it.
But the glucose balance is going to be, blood sugar balance is going to be more even than a spike and a drop with the jelly beans.
Got it.
But
Beautiful.
if you got to get through that last mile and you need a bean,
You can have a bean. Okay.
you know,
Love it.
you can have these before.
Love it. Thank you so much. These are amazing. So, Morgan, this was amazing. If people are watching and they want your help with how to improve their nutrition, move more, improve their life, like how can people get in touch with you?
So the simplest way is to just shoot me an email, which is going to be my last name and my first name, mcevilly@gmail.com, which will be added to the...
We'll flash it on the screen.
That's right.
Here. Well, thank you so much. This was a treat as always. Like literally, this was a treat. And I'm trying not to eat all of these bars before the end of the show. But thank you very much thank you, Morgan, for joining us. Thank you for joining me and Morgan. Definitely try these delicious energy bars. And we will see you next time on Cooking with JJ.